In Scott Rosenberg's J-Lab Guide, Rules of the Road, Navigating the New Ethics of Local Journalism, he says, the pioneers of the new local news online space grapple with tensions between running a business and serving the public, telling collective truths and protecting individual privacy, witnessing events and advocating causes. But on the web, they're operating with fewer traditions and rules and more confusingly blurred boundaries. Within these blurred boundaries around legacy media outlets and hyperlocal news web startups lies an opportunity for small businesses and grassroots organizations to be a voice in the new news ecosystem. Traditional journalism is struggling to provide the authentic, participatory engagement readers now demand. With tremendous staff cuts throughout the newsroom, true journalists struggle to thoroughly cover routine beats like cops and courts, let alone delve into the larger issues facing their communities. Today's true journalist is struggling to do what Howard Gardner calls good work in difficult times. He says, not difficult in terms of daily creature comforts, but difficult in terms of people's ability to know the right thing to do and remain in their professions. Enter community contributions. While the newspaper shifts to some extent to a content aggregator, it is up to small businesses and organizations to seize this opportunity to help the journalist do good work for the local community by providing accurate, useful, partisan but not biased content. It's up to the paid journalist, as part of the good work of balanced, unbiased coverage, to engage voices from all points of view on a given topic and to be transparent about the community contributors' affiliations and potential conflicts of interest. But it's up to those with missions within the community to reach out and say to the journalist, let me provide my boots on the ground expertise and knowledge to help you provide the impassioned engagement that is essential for journalism to have value in today's networked world. The new content aggregator model blossoming in many news websites, combined with limitless internet outreach opportunities, is a boon for the small business or nonprofit. No longer is it only the deep-pocketed PR agency hiring businesses and organizations that are able to spread their messages. Now, even the smallest nonprofit can have a big voice through websites, blogs, Twitter, Facebook, Google+, LinkedIn, and yes, traditional news media websites. As entrepreneurial journalism author Mark Briggs says in his description of the influence model, most news entrepreneurs agree that publishing or aggregating great content is the best way to build an audience and then turn that audience into a community that adds value through sharing and engagement. Entrepreneurs, investors, foundations, pundits, and even the end users define success differently. But the one thread that runs through all of the examples is the importance of great content. Journalism needs quality content coming from the grassroots level. Briggs goes on to say, the next generation of news enterprises will be guided by the users as much as, if not more than, the publishers. Businesses and nonprofits have an opportunity as users to help invent a new form of collaborative, timely, and multidimensional journalism. While the new role of the journalist is being redefined as a community manager, the successful advocate of a cause or enterprise will think like the manager of what Clay Shirky calls a community of practice. Shirky says in Here Comes Everybody that these communities are inherently cooperative and are beautifully supported by social tools because that is exactly the kind of community whose members can recruit one another or allow themselves to be found by interested searchers. Think and strategize within that interactive community. Be a content aggregator too. Share the media outlets' stories that address your issues within your social media networks so they'll share yours. Reach out, engage. Groups should use this opportunity to put their organization's goals out to a wider audience, rather than simply preaching to the converted as they are when sharing their messages to their Twitter followers and Facebook fans. The websites of newspapers and TV news stations reach those that will love a cause and those that will hate the same cause. Embracing that conversation through the media outlets' comments section might gain some converts to the cause, while it surely will help the newspaper gain traction as a platform for smart, hyperlocal dialogue. While legacy media organizations grapple with finding a sustainable business model, which I'm sure they will, organizations must position themselves to be the voice of their communities within whatever form that new model takes. Provide quality content, provide media organizations with an engaged, topical community to participate in the new news ecosystem. Organizations that do that now will be the respected go-to resources in the collaborative solution of the future.
The reality of it is that we don't have the staff that we did 10 years ago or 20 years ago, when we could be at every event and we could really have our finger on the pulse of the community, much as we want to. And we still try to do that, but because we can't be there, it really helps us if organizations come to us and if they let us know what they're doing, and if they're passionate about a topic, they can bring that to us and talk with us about it. And it helps us to be out into the community more than just being here in the newsroom. Right, with our new outdoor section, we're trying to engage the community where they're at. And where that is, in some cases, is they're outside. And we wanted to bring in people who were passionate about what they do and passionate about the outdoors. We wanted to reach out to the outdoors community and on a rotating basis have them provide write columns and write articles about the things that they're doing and the things that they're passionate about and the trends that they see that we might not see. Again, we just can provide a lot more information to our readers, and I think it serves us and it also serves them, the organizations, because it's sort of one of those mutually beneficial arrangements where they get the word out that they want out, and we also get to fill all the holes that we have in the newspaper, because that, again, that's another reality, is we have pages to fill and we have audiences to reach on the website, and if we have to depend on our own minuscule staff, we won't be able to do it. That's just the reality of journalism today. There are certain public information people in town, we all know them. And those are the people we go to, because if we need a soundbite, if we need information, we're going to go with the people that are familiar, because sometimes it's quicker that way. Again, that reality. You know, we try to spread it around, but so that's one thing. Make sure they know who you are, and then you know, suggest stories, because if you think it's an important and it's a story and a lot of other people do too, then we're going to want to write about that. We're going to want to cover it. If you see a trend that's happening in your community, let us know about it in case we've missed it, because again, if it's important to the community, it's important to us.